Have you ever wondered why your mind says one thing, but your body knows another? Human design might just hold the answer. And today we're diving into Cosmic Blueprint that shows you exactly how you're wired and how to live in alignment with your unique gifts. Come join us. Women's Wellness Authority is your go-to podcast for discovering the hidden gems of holistic health and well-being. In each episode, we dive deep into the many layers of wellness, from mental and physical health to spiritual growth. Through insightful interviews with experts, healers, and thought leaders, we uncover alternative approaches, healing practices, and fresh perspectives that empower you to transform your life. Whether you're seeking innovative ways to heal your body, your mind, or nourish your soul, this podcast offers practical tools and wisdom to help you thrive in all areas of your life. Let's rewrite the rules of wellness together. Step into your power, reclaim your health, and discover what it means to truly thrive from the inside out. Welcome back to Women's Wellness Authority. I'm your host, Diana Ruskowski, and today we're exploring human design, often called the cosmic soup of your soul's arrival. Think of this as a user manual for how your body, your mind, and your energy are designed to work together. Human design goes beyond personality. It's about understanding your natural gifts, how you make decisions, and even how your body digests energy and experiences. This conversation is all about empowerment, learning to trust yourself, embrace who you are, and see yourself through a lens of self-acceptance and strength. And I'm joined by Christina Rothstein, who has a master's in education. Christina provides direct academic intervention and support services to children and adolescents, and she spent her career bridging the gap between language and literacy while coaching students with learning and executive function challenges. She also brings a huge passion for natural living, mindset work, and compassionate curiosity, all of which are deeply connected with her journey into human design. So today she's here to share how human design has transformed the way she understands herself and her family, and she'll be reviewing my human design live. That's right. I have no idea what she's going to share for my human design, but she's going to share it at the same time we share it with you. So hi, Christina. Welcome to Women's
Hi.
Wellness Authority.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
So, Christina, I always like to ask my guests how they got into the particular topic that we're talking about. So, what drove you to human design and why are you so passionate about it?
It's funny, I can recognize now that my sacral authority, which is part of my human design, pulled me to this business podcast pretty randomly. I love a business podcast. I have my wellness business. I run a business with my husband, who's a psychologist, and we work with kids. But something just piqued my interest about this one podcast called On the Daily. And I started learning about business through the lens of using one's human design to really help them build the best business that they could. And I felt this instant yes in my body. I wanted to learn more. I dove in really deep into my design. I think usually we start out with, we're curious, what's my design? What's my chart say? That's, of course, where I started. And it was so eye-opening, so validating. It really opened me up to this world where I could also look at my family's charts. So my son and I, we've always gotten along. Like as he's like a baby and a toddler, he's like my little sweetie pie mama's boy. And as he gets a little older and his personality really starts to form, I can see that we are so different. He and I are so different. And he's different than the rest of us. I have a daughter and my husband and I, and we always just kind of, you have those moments where you look at someone, you're like, you're different than us. And so I decided to put his chart in. Obviously, I know when he was born, and I put his information in, and it's really just your astrology chart. This is like astrology on steroids, more on that to come. But I plugged in his birth details, your time, your date, and the location. And what I found out about him was so eye-opening. And I'll share some of those details on how this has helped me in my parenting journey.
Hmm.
But it's also helped me in my relationship with my husband and partners. And now I think business partners, like working with women and coaching women in through my wellness business, I find myself like unable to not know their design. I'm like, I need to know your design in order to effectively give you the tools that you need and the language that you need to do this the right way, your way, right? And that is the only right way.
Interesting.
So everyone has a completely unique design. And you can find out so much through this system. We're going to start with some of the basics today and just hopefully pique your listeners' curiosity. I thought that this would fit so well with what you do and bringing awareness to new topics and new experiences that people can have in self discovery and transformation. So, yeah, that's a little bit about that.
So maybe we can talk about what human design is exactly, because as you're talking, I'm thinking about things I've done in the past, like my Enneagram
Yeah.
or Myers-Briggs. So it'd be interesting to hear, okay, what exactly human design is, and then how is it different than those other personality tests that I've taken before?
Such a good question. And immediately I was like, come on, I've done those. We've done a lot of those tests
Yeah,
together, the color tests, and they have their place. But one key differentiator with human design is that you do not answer a single question about yourself.
that's true, actually. I didn't. I just gave
It-
you what I give you? The day I was born, the month, the year, and the location.
That's it. So, inherent in me filling out a color personality test, an Enneagram, the four-letter combos, right? There's so many different ones. Inherent in that is my self-projected conditioning, the things that I've picked up on from my family of origin, the world around me, what friends said, teachers said, bosses said, coworkers said, and now that's a part of how I see myself. And so I'll give you a little example if that's okay for
Yeah,
myself.
I think that's
And
helpful.
just to give you an example for me, I know we're going to go into your chart. I am a manifesting generator. I am a 6-2. That's my profile line. You have personality profile lines. You have a type.
And
That's your
you'll get into what all
manifesting
this
generator. We're going to get
means,
into
right?
yes,
Okay,
yes,
okay.
yes. And we'll use the example for you. But one of the things that I realized about myself as a 2 line, once I heard about a 2 line, when you have a 2 line, you really like alone time and you need it. And if people interrupt you, you get really, really put off, which is kind of funny, right? Given things you know about me. Um, okay, but I've always been told by people that I'm a people person and I'm an extrovert. You see what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
I was always conditioned to believe that I was an extrovert. And in some ways, I am. I love people. I really do. But to hear about this other side of myself and to kind of like crack it open through this facet of my human design gave me so much permission to embrace the fact that that is true. And I need a ton of alone time. And I look around at my life and I go, I have actually crafted a life where I have a fair amount of alone time. I take hikes. I go in the woods by myself. I need to process things. But anyway, also,
So it
when
just
people
makes
tell
total sense then.
total sense, when people
Yeah.
tell you to niche down or when people are telling you to pick a lane and that you have to do one thing and that you can't have too many things on your plate. That may be true for some people, but I am a manifesting generator, and that's how my energy flow comes from having lots of things on my plate. And so that gave me the freedom to say, yeah, I'm going to do literacy work. I'm going to have a wellness business. I'm going to start talking about human design. I teach sourdough classes. I'm on the PTA. Like it's just, so many different things, right? Okay to delay. I'm into delaying smartphones. I work with a coach and sometimes she's like, we got to like focus here. I'm like, but let me teach you about human design. And that's actually been a really great conversation too. This is something for everyone at any stage of transformation, but it's going to help you come home to yourself. And that is something that no matter what you believe about astrology, try this on, try a reading, read a little, Google about your chart, Google about your centers and your gates and whatever you want. See if it fits. And you will be surprised. I know you will.
I know, I can't wait to hear. I can't I, like,
Okay.
wanna go I just wanna cut right to the end, but,
Right, right. We'll get there.
now that you say that, the difference between these 2 is really because when you're taking those personality tests, I'm like, "Should I answer this how I want to be perceived versus how I actually am or what I want to be versus what I truly am?" And so, yeah, there's definitely that element of human conditioning and when you answer the questions, even though you're, like, trying to be as honest as possible, but we're all human, right? So it's like, "No, I'm totally cool with change," "No, I'm not."
You hit the
Or
nail on the head. That's
yeah,
it. Yes,
yeah.
exactly right. So I see that as a key differentiator. And human design is incredibly detailed. That's the other thing. I mean, you'll be surprised by what you find in your chart. So some of this information is about how our energy battery is built. Some of us have a natural engine, like we're roaring to go every day, and some of us don't. This can also be about how we make decisions. This has been huge with my son. Just another little anecdote for you into the parenting realm. My son has a really hard time making decisions. And I was on a path of telling him what works for me, which is go with your gut, buddy. I would literally go like this. And he would crumble, cry, run away. It became this really contentious point in our relationship because how many decisions you have to have your child make? What do you want for lunch today? What do you want to play? These things were unnecessarily difficult because I wasn't using his design.
Hmm.
So then I found out that he is an emotional authority. And that means he has a center in his chart. We're going to go with the body chart that's defined. And he needs to consistently process a wave of emotions around a decision to decide the one that makes him feel the happiest and brings him like the best emotions. And forcing him to do what I do, which is an on the spot, black and white decision making, he needs about 4 to 24 hours to make a decision. So even though this seems crazy, but you can actually embed this into your life
Mm.
in seamless ways. If we know where we're going for dinner, we will have him preview the menu mid afternoon
Yeah.
and say, hey, bud, let's start thinking. So I had this revelation last spring. It was time to pick a sport. And I said, Sam, no decisions right now. You have to take at least 3 days to decide. But I want you to tell me, do you want to play basketball, soccer, or baseball? No decisions now. And he was like, oh. And then he came to me about 24 hours later and said, Mom, I want to play soccer. I was like,
This was after you had a better understanding of his design, right?
I gave him the space to make the decision instead of saying, the signups are due. Which one do you want?
Yep.
Or your buddy's doing this one. He gets really flustered by those moments. And so I can create so much more peace and ease in our family and in our home and in his life by also teaching him how his design runs. Now, I'm not going around and telling my kids about their design all the time. I don't
You're a
believe in
3,
that.
so let's yeah.
Right?
But
No,
you're
I don't.
just giving
It's this
different tools.
gentle allowance for like, maybe I should try it this way and see how it works. And it's incredible to experiment, right? Life is an experiment and we are all here expressed in very unique ways. And this is about embracing that unique expression. We're all in like harmonic balance with each other.
Yeah, that's really beautiful and so powerful to have that. It's a tool that not very many people, when we talked about, this call, you're like, "Can I talk about human design?" I was like, "I have no idea what it even is." And now I'm like, there's certain situations where I know both my girls make decisions very differently and handle things very, very differently, that this could really, really, really be helpful for my husband and I.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And even though I just want to say, even though we may have the same type or the same profile lines as another person, each body graph, which is what we're going to look at, is completely unique because there are levels of astrology here that were layered into human design that are so far beyond what you and I think of as like your horoscope or
Mhm.
modern day astrology. This is a real synthesis of a bunch of different systems. And so when you're looking at a body graph, you are looking at someone's unique, completely unique expression. And there is so much beauty in that. And it's all from just the time we were born, where
Yeah.
we were.
And is this something that's relatively new or something that's been in practice for like, how did this come about? Do you know the history of human design?
As I did my certification program, I learned about the history. It was not imperative to me to get started in it because I felt that this was right for me. So I wanted to dive deeper, but I've learned about it. It is a system that was synthesized by a man. His name is Ra Uru Hu in 1987. And as new things often are, right, it was dismissed for a really long time.
Mhm.
And it's interesting because now a lot of us 80s babies are coming of age, are coming into our transformation journey, and we find human design. And it's like, so
Gives us all the
he,
answers.
so he works to synthesize different aspects of the channels, the chakra system, Kabbalah, the Chinese I Ching, and the hexagram, which is like 64 different gates. And he basically says that it came to him, it was downloaded, he got it, and he just said, this is the way. And I think we are really at a time right now where there are so many opinions and viewpoints and things that we see and noise out there and people showing us what to do and how to do it. It has never been more important for us to hone our own personal authority, like our own decision makers, and really understanding ourselves amidst this collective. Because you may get advice from someone, you may hear something that seems like it's good advice, but we all have to check in with ourselves and really make
Mhm.
sure that it fits. And how do we do that? Human design provide. If you're wondering, how do I go about understanding myself better? Human design is such a powerful first step.
Okay, so we mentioned charts and lines. Can we go through what a chart looks like and then maybe talk about some of the main points before we dig in? I think when you go through my report, you'll get maybe some clarity, right, about what certain things mean. But can we maybe just start really, really high level and talk about maybe the what a body graph looks like? You can share a sample with us, which we'll show on screen. The 9 centers of
So,
the body, the gates, the channels.
so what you're going to see, and I meant to confirm your details with you at the top, but I think they're all there. But you'll see, I get mine from myhumandesign.com. There's lots of places to get a free chart printout. This is like a PDF you can get. And what you're going to see is a lot of information, but you're going to see a body graph in the middle. And you're going to see the information on the design gates and personality gates on the left and right hand sides. We're going to focus on the body graph in the middle. This is the map. This is your blueprint. And you see 9 centers going from head down to root from top to bottom. And you see channels that are connecting all of these different centers to each other.
Okay.
So some of your centers are colored in and some
Yeah.
of them are white.
Mhm.
and that's significant.
Okay.
Okay. Are they colored in? Are they white? That means, are they defined? That means they're colored in, they're closed off, and or they're white, they're open. And so the centers can be closed, open, everybody looks different. Again, even if you have the same type as someone, chances are your centers look different. And then in between each center, you may have gates that are talking to each other, that are areas of natural strength for you, that really guide what your design says about what you're here to do and your gifts and how you are here to express them. So, for example, if you have a defined sacral, which is the second to bottom square colored in, then that means you have a defined sacral authority, a sacral energy, and you are a sacral authority. So a lot of what you see visually on the map gets turned into the language, the descriptions, or what you hear from a reading in that format. So why am I a manifesting generator? It's in there. It's described in there. I have gates and channels that manifesting generators have. Okay. My son is an emotional authority because he has a defined solar plexus.
I see. Do these align with like the chakras? These
Yeah.
different centers? Okay.
Yep. So there's head, ajna, then there's throat, there's heart, and G center. They're a little bit different. Maybe they're a little different than, but there's 9 chakras, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then you have your heart, your G center, you have your sacral, your spleen,
Mm-hmm.
your root. Did I get them all?
Yep. Then your sacral.
Your sacral,
Yep.
your spleen and solar plexus on this side, and then the root is on the bottom. And so all of this is really cool information that changes based on the minute, down to the minute that you were born. And it gives us so much great info on how to move forward in life.
And now, is colors a good thing, bad thing? Is white a good thing, bad thing? Or is there no such thing as good thing, bad thing? This is just what.
It's really, yeah, it is what it is. We are all here on purpose. We are all here on time. Whatever your chart shows is what you are here to do. And there are strengths and there are shadows or challenges to every center. So if you have definition in a center, it's seen as an area of strength and consistency for you.
What do you mean by
Like,
definition?
colored in.
Okay.
If a center is colored in, it's seen as, ooh, that is right. So the sacral is defined for me. My sacral is really good at making decisions for me. My body, my gut instinct is the strongest driver for me. And that's because I have definition there. People who have an undefined sacral may be more susceptible to influence from other people on how to make decisions, or their life force, their energy may be, creativity may be in flux based on their environment or conditioning that they've gotten from the outside. So think about your defined centers as internal energy that radiates outwards, the colored in ones. And the open centers are open to the outside and take in more energy from the collective and from your environment. So we need to be monitoring there. They can be areas of tremendous growth, but they can also be areas where we receive a lot of outside pressure, influence, conditioning.
And then the connectors, what are those called?
So channels.
Channels. Okay.
So we have gates, and then your gate can be active or inactive.
Is
And your
gates.
gates can have, the gates are the little numbers.
Okay.
So it's like, let me see here. We should just get into your chart. You have gates.
Yeah.
For example, 1156. So because I can see it connecting 11 and 56.
this is where, are you looking at like the second triangle and the square? So it's connecting that 11.
There it
So
is.
the coloration between the two means it's connected and they're working together.
That's correct.
Okay. And then if it's white, what's happening? Nothing.
It's not an active gate for you. So it doesn't mean that there's nothing happening, but it's not an area that we're going to go, oh, there's a lot in your chart that
Yeah.
is there because of that.
So does the whole left side and right side also have to do with like feminine and masculine energy?
Ooh, that's a little bit different. So you have design gates and you have personality gates.
Okay.
And they're basically your conscious gates and your unconscious gates.
Which one's your
So
unconscious?
design, and then your personality is your what you're conscious of.
Mm,
So that's another interesting element. Like there's an element that you got information in through your design 88 days before you were born. That is everything through your design. And everything that happened on the day you were born is your personality. So it's an interesting, yeah. Yep. So for example, you, my dear, have a personality profile of a 5-1. And so I want you to take a look at the top numbers in your chart. And you see how it says 1.5 under personality?
mhm.
The 5 is where we're getting that number for your personality, that little 5. And then the 1 is over on the left side. So you see the little 4.1, the 1 is where we get your personality profile.
Okay.
So so we trust the site makers to make the chart. But then we need the people who really embody it and understand it to help decipher it, right?
Yeah, I
So
mean,
we'll
like,
dive into that. Let's dive
you
into that. It's
and
going to be like, okay, here we go.
I think that's an important distinction though, because I could go on my human design and run this, but then I'm like, what am I looking at, you
I've
know?
had people tell me this. I've had friends tell me, oh, I saw that you were doing human design. I got my chart. I have no idea what it means. I said, yeah, let me help you figure
Yeah,
out
and
what it
that's why you got
means.
a certification and why you
Yeah.
did all the studying so you can interpret. Because you just explained to me the 4.1, the 1.5. I get that, but I have no idea what it means.
And you
And I've
really
also
don't
been
need
t
to. It's like you
Yeah.
don't need to. You just need reading the descriptions, listening a little bit here and there. A lot of information out there, or getting a reading and digging deep into your chart can be so eye-opening. And it's just what you need to know. You don't need to know all the things about the body graph. I know all the things about the body graph.
Yeah, you're the expert. Okay, so I understand the 9 centers of the body, that's pretty clear, and then the things that connect us are our gates and our channels. The colors mean that I'm, like, fully connected, and then my design is what sort of is already created before I'm here on Earth, but then my personality is what's formed based on the location, the date, and the time that I
There you
arrived.
go.
Is
There you
that
go.
okay?
Beautiful. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so let's dig into what exactly I am, and then I can share with you because I just recently did like an energy session with someone and with 2 individuals, and they shared some things, and I'm even just looking at the words, and they're resonating, and that's why I was specifically asking about the masculine and feminine because that's something that they've shared with me, so that's why I
And
was asking.
it might be I can't even pretend to know about everything about human design. I've been studying this for about 18 months. So maybe there is. You should check you should check with them, see what they
Well, it's
think.
just interesting because the channels, the tubes on one side are more shaded than on the other side.
Mhm.
And I tend to but I think that's just
Oh,
also
I
because
see what you're saying.
how
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
been
yeah.
conditioned is to really lead with a masculine energy, but my challenge in this lifetime is to really embrace and channel my more feminine side. That is the message that I got. So I just wonder if that's connected here at all.
Mhm. Diane, we're gonna get into your chart. And
Okay.
knowing you, this was really fun to do. It's very fun to do anybody's chart. And I love a lot of this information for you. I think it's going to be really cool to share with you. So, as your type, you are a generator, and generators are here to bring joy, And it's a really oversimplified way of describing it. And you may have a lot of like crap that comes up when you hear some of this because it's like, well, no, I can't. What are you talking about? I got to unload the dishwasher. Blah, blah, blah. Just hear me out. You have endless amounts of energy for the things that really and truly light you up.
Mm-hmm.
And your lit upness is the universe, God, whatever you believe in, telling you that you are on the right path and you will get energy by doing the things that you love. So a generator will often find themselves when they're really into something, they want to do it for 3 hours in a row, 6 hours in a row. They have to be pulled away. It's like, it's dinner time. Hello. Oh, I should probably have a drink of water. You might get really, really into something, and your energy, your spirit around what you're doing is going to be contagious for people. And that also is going to come in with your personality profile. But
Cool.
there's a magnetism to when a generator is in their flow, people want to be around it. And what generators will sometimes get into the habit of doing is saying yes to things that they feel meh about because people want them there and people want that energy. And it's like, yeah, that's what I do. And that I show up and I do the things. But the gift comes when you have enough open space on your plate. You've said no to enough things that the universe will send you more things that just give you the lit upness.
Hmm.
And
Interesting.
so your guide is, how drained do I feel by the activities of my daily life? And obviously there are going to be things in your daily life that drain you, but can you follow a path of choosing where you can, the things that light you up the most, and see where that takes you? See how much more ease life brings you, how much more peace you have, how many more opportunities come your way. It's almost like we're like going with the right like route of the river. Like the river is like breaking off and all these, and it's like, oh, and now I'm just being carried.
Yeah, you're flowing with the current versus going against it.
And we
Yeah.
need generators to get us where we're going. You are the engines of the car. And so sometimes you don't need to get bogged down with all the results at the end. And even the starting up of the ideas. What a generator's strategy is to respond to the world around them like a buffet. And this ties in with your sacral authority. So because you have a sacral authority, your strategy is to respond. Okay. And so you can look around at things and say, oh, I like that. I think that could be really cool. I didn't need to come up with the idea, but I can take it, make it my own, get it from here. And I don't necessarily know exactly where we're going. And I don't know how long it's going to take or how far we're going to go, but I'm going to keep moving as long as it brings me joy.
Hmm.
And
This is
you
like
find,
describing my life right now, but not really how I used to function.
and when I think about that journey for you, it's like really you stepping, often we get evidence of stepping into our human design. And then we didn't know that it was our human design.
Yeah.
I can think of many instances in my life where my sacral authority, which you have as well, was running the show. And I'm so glad it did, because my mind, and this relates to you too. It's not about me. This is really about you and your sacral authority too, just to give you some examples. I'm so glad I didn't let my mind talk me out of things that my gut was pulling me to. And
Mm.
it's a pull. I dug deep into the sacral authority because it's mine and it's yours too. It's a pulling feeling. You're getting pulled up and out versus getting scrunched down and in. And that's how you know your gut is talking to you. So where I went to college, like I went to Dartmouth, I didn't think I could get in there. I didn't think I had any business going there. I didn't really want to be in the woods. I wanted to go to the South. I wanted to, what? I took one visit there and something came over me that was otherworldly. It was truly, I was like, I'm doing early decision. I don't even know. My teachers told me that I was nuts. I had my teacher tell me, are you sure you want to do this? And I know that that was my sacral just screaming at me to send it, do it, do it, do it, do it. I did it. I got in. It changed
And
the trajectory of my life. I met my husband first day, like the first day. I loved my college experience, but I met my love there, So it's just like, wow, wow, that was so easy. It was easy to let myself be carried by that response.
hmm. Yeah, I think that I've not trusted my own gut, but as I get older, I'm really trying to just rely on that versus this, the practicality of
We have other information. And so you have an open head center
yep.
and you have a defined ajna. So you have a mix of both, but your ideas are very fluid. You're open to different ways of thinking and doing things.
Okay,
And
I'll take
right.
that.
But you also have a very consistent way of like forming your own opinions about things. That brings it. So you're open to all these ideas in your head, and then your ajna is defined. It brings it down. It's like, we know what we can make sense of things.
Hmm.
And then we can communicate them because you have a defined throat. So you see how your open head takes in all these new ideas. It's like I was thinking about this and like getting so many goosebumps for you because this is what you're doing here. You take all these ideas, you synthesize them, and then you communicate through your defined throat.
Yeah, and I actually just think about, like, my leadership style, and I felt like was most effective when I did that. But at different times in my career, I think that I probably was I mean, I guess this doesn't change, right? This
Doesn't change.
is yeah, interesting. Just so
Doesn't
interesting.
change. But I mean, there are times when I was listening to it and times when I was clearly not.
Mhm. Yeah, I guess
But
that's
then it's interesting to note that you may have physical illness in areas that you are not listening to and where you're not following your authority in the right way. Especially so I've had, someone who has a splenic authority, your spleen can be the one driving the boat, and you have a defined spleen as well. So do I. We are the witches, by the way. The defined spleens are like, we are known to be. So this is the bottom left in your chart. And look how much
okay.
activity you have coming off of your spleen, by the way.
Uh-huh.
You have a lot of active gates coming off of here. You have your spleen
And
also
that's because
talking
'cause
to
they're
your
color
root.
that's because 'cause they're colored?
hmm
Mhm.
So you see how you have channel 2838 right here, talking right here at the bottom, talking to the spleen, talking to the root.
Yep. Mhm.
And then you also have your spleen talking to your sacral.
Mhm.
That's a beautiful thing. I've had people who are splenic authority, it's their primary driver, and they've had a lot of illness in the spleen. And that was like a big realization of like, whoa, maybe, just maybe, could this correlate to our physical health?
Interesting.
And so sacral would be gut, root would be your lower organs, right? Think about heart, think about solar plexus.
Huh.
So it's interesting to think about. Okay. So responding is a really big thing for you to understand. You're a sacral authority. And so you have this yes, no, like I do. And
I
so
can't deal with gray. I need
no gray.
everything to be black and white. I cannot function in gray.
That's right. And we get very frustrated if we get open ended questions. We're not
Yes.
such a fan.
Yeah.
I mean, we can think deeply about open ended questions, but if you ask me, what do you want for dinner tonight? That's not my favorite question. It's like, do you want to have this or this?
Yep.
And so if you can turn questions into black and white questions, yes, no questions for yourself, or this or that questions,
Hmm.
you will practice listening to your sacral. So that's like a really low risk kind of way to start leaning into your design is do the this or that. Well, I don't know what I want for dinner. Well, do I want Thai or do I want Greek? Oh, Greek. Okay. There it is. And it's like, there it was.
Yep. Just so much easier.
But we need to just practice listening to it. Many of us are all up in our head. We are intellectualizing things. As you said, we've let masculine energy take over. And this is really about sinking into your body and not just letting your mind run the show, letting the true definition of your being and that unique expression come out and do its job.
So the strategy, the fact that I'm responding, just kind of summarize that with that. Like, what is
So
this strategy? That's just how I can navigate.
So if you think about waking up in the morning and having a sort of a clean slate, and you may have things that come into your purview that you respond to. It's like a yes or a no. You may see something that you like and that your body is sort of like pulling you toward, even though you think somebody else has done this, or this is just like what somebody else is, whatever. No, no, no. That's the universe telling you, go do that.
Okay.
So we're often told that we have to initiate things. We have to like be completely unique. Look around and see all the different things around you and start making yes or no's. Start deciding, I love this. I don't. I love this. I love this. I love this. I love this. And it may take you on unexpected sort of journeys to respond. Other designs have different strategies. So a manifestor's strategy is to inform. And a projector's strategy is to wait to be invited. This is very interesting. They have big views on the world. They can see things. They are the seers. But if they share their point of view, this is my fam. If they share their point of view before people are ready, before they've invited them to do so, it does not hit.
Interesting.
So as a responder, I just want you to think that just know that open-ended can be frustrating for you. And if you can try to bring your decision making down to choices or to a yes, no, it's going to be easier for you. You're going to have an easier flow. And also listen for like noises or sensations or like jumping toward, like physically jumping toward, because you're so in your body with your sacral authority.
With my sacral authority. Okay. So what is the not self theme? And the word that's on my chart is frustration.
Your not self theme is a clear sign, a gift from the universe that you are not on the right path for some reason.
So if I'm doing something and I'm like beyond frustrated, consistently frustrated by it, then that's my sign.
It's not bringing you joy. Like, you admit it. It's sort of just come clean. What is it? It's a meh to a heck no, because anything from a meh, if it's not like an absolute full body yes, then a generator should just say, just pass. Just pass on it. And that's not just for you, by the way, because we're all part of the collective.
For everybody. Yeah.
Well, your part in saying no as a generator is important for the collective around you. Because when you say no, truly listening to your authority, you are now allowing other people to get a better solution, learn to do it themselves, find a different person to help them that was going to be better off, because they think that you're coming with all of your good generator energy. But if you're not, just don't come. You can stay home. Like, this is your permission. And this is the hard thing, because everybody wants a generator around. Generator is planning the things, is seeing them through, is part of the party, is the life of the party. But sometimes if they're there and they're not feeling it, then everything was meant to maybe go a different way. Just have faith that like your no is going to be someone else's heck yes, thank you, sending everything more peace and ease for everyone.
Interesting. Okay.
And this leads into your personality profile, by the way, because you are a 5-1. Okay.
Okay.
So you have two aspects to your personality. One is the outside how the outside world sees you. That's the first number. And then the other one is your internal world, which may be less obvious to you. That's the unconscious. So as a 5-1, we call one of the terms for the fives is the liberator.
The liberator or the liberator?
The liberator, like the
Okay.
save the day, pragmatic, strategic, thorough. Like this is the person we can count on to get it done. Is the 5.
Okay. Okay.
And the 1 is the researcher, investigator, knowledge seeker. So somebody
Okay.
who's curious and gets really deep on the things that they love, not on everything, but gets like rabbit holey and like is better than Google. So a 5-1 may be someone who people say you're easier to come to than Google. Tell me about this. So they can very quickly become authorities for other people. There was huge potential for leadership for 5-1s, huge. But you
Okay.
also have to master others' projections of you. You have a huge projection field. People take you on. You can take on other people's projections. It's like you need to know what is your problem to solve and who you really want to help by following your sacral authority and protecting your energy from everyone else.
Okay. Yeah, I think I have a tendency to want to help a lot of people or things. And again, as I'm getting older, I think I'm just trying to make the right decisions for me. What are the right things that I should be doing? So the 5 is others' perceptions of me, and the 1
So
is
they
the
see you as you can liberate us. You're the heretic. You can come and save the day for us. And the 1 is there's also with the 1 line, there's also this internal world of rebellion and like going against the grain,
Okay.
but kind of secretly, like
Mm.
quietly. And as you know, it might build over time, but you've always had this maybe different way of investigate because of the investigation you've done, because of the rabbit holes, the trails you've gone down. And that's what people, so now I think about what you're doing now.
Mhm.
And it's so beautiful because it's like you get to bring forth in a leadership capacity things that you really care about, that you've investigated deeply, that you're experiencing firsthand, but to help people. Like that's people see you as someone who can help them. You have a huge potential to be a catalyst for big change. It's really about discernment and also knowing that all the things you do for everyone, all the ways that you take care of people is not tied to your inherent value. There needs to be a separation, especially in your close relationships for a 5-1. You want to be valued beyond because you're endlessly capable. So it's like, I don't want to be just appreciated for all the things I do. I want to be appreciated for who I am. So part of your life journey is embracing that and accepting that your worth goes far beyond your to-do list in the day-to-day.
Hmm.
And it's really about your being and who you came here to be.
So interesting. I feel like this all has to sink in too, because things just keep
It
popping in my
does.
head of readings I've
What's
gotten
popping in your
even.
head? What's popping in your head?
Just
Yeah, I wanna see.
that I have the capacity for huge change for others. I've been told that, especially recently.
Oh, wow.
I've had readings, sort of astrology type tarot readings, where I've been told very similar things. I'm on the right path to trust my gut, predominantly make decisions out of that place. And when I make decisions out of that place, that it's going to continue on the right path. And
That's so
that's,
cool. That
and
bitch.
that's, yeah.
Oh
And
my
that's
gosh.
something one day is just going to click and be bigger than I can expect.
You want to know about your channels?
Yeah.
Because I thought they were just real quick. I just looked up some of your channels.
These are the channels are the numbers, the
The
like, so
channels
it,
are what's talking to. So let's look at, I'm going to pull up.
yeah, like 28 and 38, 28 and 38.
That's what it just, okay. This channel is about the struggle for purpose and making sense of your life experiences. So this is connecting what? It's connecting your spleen to your root. So your spleen is your survival instincts, your intuition, and your root is your center of stress and adrenaline. So you may feel this like a lot of questioning about like big picture questions, like what's the point of it all and why are we here? And you're okay with wrestling with like life's mysteries, trials, tribulations, and you can be really tenacious and just like confronting all of that. Whereas most people would be like, don't want to think about that.
Hmm. I mean, I feel like if you would have had this conversation with me like 6 years ago, I'd been like, "Eh," but it
Right?
makes so much sense now.
Everything's on
So
time. I really believe that everything's on time. And, even I will say to myself, oh, I wish I knew about my son's, just emotional decision making. But it's okay. I know now.
mhm,
And I truly believe that everything's on time. And we are now at a place in the collective where people are really ready to dive into this. We are moving into a new paradigm. Human design people talk about the new paradigm often,
mhm.
and we're right in the middle of this big transition. We can all kind of feel it. And so having your own blueprint, your own unique way of seeing yourself and walking out life is just so incredibly valuable right now more than ever.
And now can someone's chart be similar to mine?
You and I have a lot of similarities.
Are you an
And
82 baby?
I'm an 84 baby. Yeah, no,
Oh.
it might even depend on, so my husband and I are both manifesting generators. He's a 3/6. I'm a 6/2, which is interesting because we vibe in a lot of ways. And I'm like, oh, we're both 6 lines and we're both man gens. Like, interesting.
Hmm.
Um, my daughter is a generator, so it's completely different. It's completely different, and there's different prevalences of each type. So with generators and man gens being the most prominent, and then projectors, and then manifestors, and by far the rarest type is reflectors. And
Hmm.
they have all centers open.
All centers open. So
Reflectors
that
have
means
all centers
every
open.
single channel's colored.
No, just all the 9 centers are white. So
Oh.
they are open. I know it's a very. I have to learn more about reflectors. I've
Yeah.
come across one in all the reads I've done.
Interesting. And then when it lists your other gifts, what does that mean? Is that those
That's
numbers
a synthesis
correspond?
of what were the channels. So that is Jenna Zoe's way of synthesizing your channels.
So these gifts are my channels that are like high functioning and
Yeah, like what you're here to do, and you'll have many, many, many of them.
yeah,
But I
I
think
do.
your top one was
2, 4, 11.
creating new things. I think your most important gift was creating new things.
Hmm.
You're here to put new things out into the world.
It's
I mean,
saying that
okay.
yeah, thank you. Thank you, universe. This just is clarifying everything. Can
Right.
you just I know we could dive into so many things, but I'm kind of giggling to myself. Digestion is evening eating, and my environment is kitchens. For anyone who knows me really personally, that makes no sense. You could catch me in the kitchen if I need to be, but what
Let
does
me
that
pull this
mean?
out. Let me pull this out. Okay, so your digestion, it's a more advanced, like I would focus on your type, your strategy, authority, and your profile
Okay.
lines as you're getting
Okay.
started.
Okay.
But if you're interested, everybody's always curious about the digestive piece and the environments. So digestion is not just about food, it's also how you digest information.
Mhm.
And this is one that we may have some of the biggest conditioning around is how we eat. And it has taken me a lot, like to grapple with the different eating styles in the human design, even within my family, is tough because we live in a world where there's 3 meals a day. But we're not all designed to eat this way. So let me just tell you, can I tell you a quick story about my digestion? And you'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. So my digestion is low sound, which I completely wrote off in the beginning. I thought that I was like, what does that mean? Okay. But then I went out to dinner with a whole bunch of friends and we're sitting there at the table and everyone's talking. And, it's like 20 people out for dinner, one of those like every couple's night, everybody's out.
Mm-hmm.
And I realize I'm eating the food and I feel like it's staying right there. And it's not until we get up and leave that I'm like, I didn't enjoy my meal. I don't even really remember what I ate. I don't feel really good right now. That was weird. And so I started to think about how I had so much mental chatter. I was so stimulated by all my friends and the conversation and things in that moment that, maybe my body could try on a different way of digesting. Or maybe I just need to like calm my brain down a little bit before I eat. So you can have passive digestion and active digestion. And there's a little bit more you can get into with that, where active eaters have set eating plans and they like consistency. They like to know what they're eating every day, same time. Passive eaters, it's like, no, we're like hunter-gatherer, or like I'll have a little bit here, a little bit there. And it's more of a condition of where my brain is if I'm ready to digest food. So what does this mean? Does this mean I don't eat dinner with my family anymore? I sit in the closet and I eat dinner?
I
No.
need my quiet time to eat.
No. However, during the day, I recognize that I just have like little bit, I'm like, it's quiet in the house by myself. And that's when I will have a little bit of food and enjoy it. And before dinner at night, I will again bring my brain down. I'm also a big touch person. So I change my clothes for out of work clothes to signal that it's time to calm down, to slow my brain down
Mm.
for eating. So for you, if you're
keep
in
going.
bright, so I want you to think of it like this. If you were in very bright light, your body might find that as off-putting to eat a bunch of food or to digest a whole bunch of information. Like you would prefer to be in a shady, don't take it as nighttime. Take it as like you need a little like like calming down visually before you do either of those things, digest food or
Interesting.
information. What do you think about
Well,
that?
I find that I tend to get like really invigorated at night, actually. And that's when I do more my research and I start really digging in. So, to your point about digesting, like not just actual digestion of food, but digestion of
Yes. That's when you're
information.
ready for the ideas, whereas most of us
Mhm.
are shutting down. Like we're not. So the night owl, yeah, maybe you're a night owl. Maybe you have an interesting aspect to your human design.
Yeah. And I always just think it's because, like, that's how I've been trained is just, like, not shut it off, and now that I can shut it off, I have full control of that. I'm finding that I'm just gravitating towards my office, and then I get, like, super into it, and by the time I realize it's, like, 11:30. But then I'm like, "Oh my
And
god,
you're in your
these are, like."
generator flow. That's a sign you're in your generator flow too. So I say go for that because you might be more productive in those 2 hours and or feel more satisfied than if you had
Yeah,
worked a full day.
that is so accurate. That is so accurate, and I just thought it was a conjunction of my conditioning of how I have worked for the last 20
Sure.
years.
And then you hear things like, oh no, wake up at 5 a.m. And you see
I
people on
can't
Instagram who
I
are,
cannot do
look,
that.
do my get ready with me morning routine 4 a.m. I'm doing all my work before. And you see that and you go, oh, should I do that? Oh man, am I lazy because I like to work at night? It's time to ditch all of that nonsense and
My
learn your,
husband is
yeah.
whatever he's a morning eating then, whatever the opposite is of he is energized and wakes up at 5 every single day to get his stuff done and is nauseating to me to even think about that.
And let it be because once there's no pressure for you to be like anyone else.
Yeah.
The
That's
world's so
where
much easier. Life's
yeah,
so
and
much
things
easier.
flow way easier, right? So all this
Yeah, that's it. That's
this
it. It's
this
about
all
your
is
flow.
just so
It's about
interesting.
not conforming to what someone else told you and really checking in to say, is this what I want to do right now? Okay.
Mhm.
And that's not to say we can just like ditch all of our responsibilities and you're like, I'm a generator. I'm not like picking up the kids anymore. Huh? It doesn't bring me joy.
Yeah, nope.
But it's about finding as many things as you can, and especially on your professional path, that light you up. And
Yeah.
one thing I'll say about working with people in business, I've done a coaching group now where I found out everybody's human design. And now we have a group where we're working through how do we want to build our businesses with our unique blueprint in mind. And gosh, there's so much peace. There's so much confidence and clarity about how am I going to do this my way? And how am I going to be a sustainable business owner this time? And how am I going to let go of all of the things that everybody told me, all of the lists and all the trackers and all the strategy? None of that really matters if we don't know our human design at the end of the day.
Yeah. God, what a powerful tool, especially as a solo, you know, business person, how empowering it is to understand and better understand how I can function because it would help with the things I think I sometimes struggle with, which is like the things I think I should be doing versus the things that I feel like are the right things.
There you go.
And the things that I
Stop shoulding yourself. That's a big generator thing too. We generators say do the should thing
yeah,
and just know that the universe has a different path for you and it's following your gut.
yeah. All right.
And
Well,
when you
that's
do
I've
that,
been
it's going to
riding
open
that
it up. Yeah.
yeah, I've been riding that gut wave since
Right. That gut
February
wave.
and it
Okay. Real quick. Kitchens are okay. Just,
yeah.
I have a little handout on kitchens. Kitchens actually means uh, environments that foster transformation and creativity. So what
Okay.
happens in a kitchen? Okay. Nothing stays the
Like,
same.
yeah.
We're always things are in, they're coming out. We're taking ingredients, we're making something new. We are literally doing experimentation, growth, and learning. So other examples would be laboratories, creative studios, and workshops. So make sure that you use in your environments for trial and error. That's really what that means is like get in the kitchen
Mhm.
and
Try
cook
different
something
things.
up and try different things and allow for your own creativity to come out so that you can experience that unique transformation in that environment. And when you need the other thing about our environment is when you're feeling like drained or uninspired, go to your environment. Go to find a place like your environment to get reinvigorated
Mm.
and refocused on whatever it is you're working on.
Well, Christina, thank you because I could take up hours and hours
Isn't
of
it
your
cool?
time
Isn't it
and the
cool?
listeners, and I guess my biggest piece of advice to everyone is, get your human design done. I have to say, especially so many people right now, both women and men, and our age group in particular, I think are trying to rediscover who they are and figure out what really drives them, and this can help provide that clarity if you're feeling a little bit lost and no, it's like inherently in me because this is my human design.
That's
Um,
right. One of my friends I gave a reading to, and she said something so sweet. She was just like, "This was really like coming home to myself."
yeah,
And after that could be at any time in life. It's never too late. But I do think we are coming into a time when human design is going to be so valuable for each of us to know.
yeah. All right. So human design is really an invitation to stop trying to be who the world told you to be and instead embrace the person you're always designed to be. That really, really sinks in so much more now that we've gone through mine. If this episode sparked something in you, take that next step, explore your own chart, and discover what makes you unique. Christina is offering our listeners $50 off a personal reading. And as you can see, it's really a powerful gift of self-understanding. So, Christina, what is the best way that our listeners can get in touch with you to get their human design interpreted and created?
So I have a website, evergreenandwell.com, and I'm also at Christina at evergreenandwell.com. You can email me and we can book your reading. And I'll also have some information on my website as well. We can link it here.
Perfect. And if you go into resources, however you're listening through, like whatever platform you're listening to, I'll have links to Christina's website and also her social media accounts. And you can also jump onto my social media accounts, Women's Wellness Authority, and I'll content tagged to Christina. So you can find her very easily. And if you can't, just find me and I will connect the two of you. So thank you, Christina. And thank you for joining me on Women's Wellness Authority. If today's conversation spoke to you, share it with a friend and be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform or YouTube so you never miss what's next. And if you're enjoying the show, a 5-star review means the world and helps more women find us. So until next time, stay curious, stay empowered, and most of all, stay well. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Women's Wellness Authority. If today's conversation inspired you, shifted your perspective, or sparked something within you, I'd be so grateful if you'd subscribe, leave a review, or share this episode with someone who might need it the most. Have a story of your own or something you'd like to share? I'd love to hear from you. You can connect with me on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook at Women's Wellness Authority. Please note the content shared on this podcast is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult with a qualified healthcare provider regarding your health and wellness decisions. Until next time, stay curious, stay empowered, and most of all, stay well. Thanks, everyone.